Hello and welcome to another episode of Games to Sleep To, and today we are playing Pygmalien in the new patch. We've gone ahead and seen if there's a gold tier skill we'd like, and let's check them out. You see Healthy Hoarder, you have plus 200 max HP for each non-weapon item. Critical Aid, your heal items have plus 15% crit chance, and Frontal Shielding, your leftmost shield item has plus 40 shield. I think Healthy Hoarder and Frontal Shielding are pretty strong. I think Healthy Hoarder could be an incredible get for us here in the early game, although Frontal Shielding scales a little bit better into the other portions of the game, so it is a pretty tough call. That being said, with the new hero Mac, they do put on just a ton of damage, and the way to counter that, it seems, is to try and kill them before they kill you. Survival strategies against scaling poison or burn is not really where you want to be against them, so it makes me want to get something like Frontal Shielding and maybe then synergize with something like Spiky Shield. I'm willing to do that, although I think Healthy Hoarder might be better overall. It is tough. Yeah, I will take Healthy Hoarder. I think that's just a tremendous amount of max HP. And okay, we see we could get a weapon here, but on Pygmalien, I love locking in our income, so let's get our 2 income. And let's look at our fights. So we have the Haunted Kimono, the Viper, and the Kyver Drone. I think for us, we're going to want to take the Haunted Kimono. The Haunted Kimono, if we get the Silk Scarf, that'd be pretty good for us. Additionally, getting something like a scrap would not be the worst, but truly the get here is Silk Scarf. Now, one thing to consider with Pygmalien is that in this latest patch they have been sort of buffed and nerfed across the board. It's tough to say where they lie currently, and that's why I wanted to try them out here today. I think Pygmalien had some nerfs in that we see something like Matchbox having a much higher cooldown, things like that. But additionally, they do have some new items that have been reworked with the Land Scraper and also with the Vineyard. Now can provide additional healing and shielding to your board in a very substantial way. Okay, we do get a scrap here. Again, not the best, not the worst, but as we can see, even a scrap is going to provide us 200 max HP. Now this is tough. Finn's Big Bite is always so good early on, but we have no items on board, so we'd really hope that we can get a good vendor for us in the next phase. We've already seen the weapons vendor for our first day, so we know we're not going to be getting that. I think I am going to go to Finn's Big Bite. I am going to take the 5 regeneration. That's just so strong early on. And okay, we see Quixel. Alright, Quixel, let's see if you can fill our board. Okay, they do have some items for us. This Luxury Kiuas is okay. It's hard to scale early on. That being said, we could just get the Silk Scarf, and then we could buy the Kiuas just to fill our board. I do really kind of want to reroll here and see what other items we could find. But that'd be 4 gold, and then we would hope to then be able to purchase 2 items to fill our board. We wouldn't be able to because the cheapest an item can be is 2. So I will take this scrap, or sell the scrap rather, and I will take this Kiuas here. And let's keep moving. So into our first fight, we are facing another Pygmalien. And let's see what they have. So they have Hot Stones, they have Boomerang, and they have a Deadly Slingshot. Okay, we have way more HP than them, but it is going to really depend on if this Slingshot crits or not. For us also, 17 shielding from the Silk Scarf is not insignificant, but I don't think our Luxury Kiuas is going to get us across the line here in terms of damage, just because it's 2 fire damage, or burn damage, but the Pygmalien is going to be scaling their damage much higher than we are, and scaling their regeneration with the Hot Stones. That being said, looks like just having larger amounts of max HP is going to be able for us to win this fight here in the Sandstorm. closer than I would have liked, but we also know that our build is not so powerful right now. Okay, let's see what we got going on for day number 2. Okay, we could gain 1 regeneration. We could go to Lick It, and that would synergize well with our Silk Scarf. Getting small items is very good with Healthy Hoarder, but I do also like locking in some value from Lick It. That's a tough one. I think I will go to Lick It here. Just gonna get the free value while I can. And let's see, we got 5 small treats. Okay, 4 gumballs and a chocolate bar. We did get 1 green gumball, 1 yellow. The red and the blue are not too good for us right now, so we might hold on to those. Let's look at a bronze tier skill. Okay, toughness, can add 10 shielding to our board, 10 heal to our board, or a little crit chance. You know, I am feeling a little weak here, so I am going to get the toughness skill. I think the bigger game was, frankly, getting the crit chance, because it's a little difficult sometimes to get crit chance on Pygmalien. But all that said, adding 10 to our shield items would be pretty good. It makes me want to look for shield items now in our shops. And now we can do just that with Kina. Let's go there. Okay, we could get an upgrade to the luxury Kiuas. You know, if we're doing it this early, now would be the time. I'm definitely gonna get this steam ladle, I think. Although we are not freezing. But we could certainly pick up an item that does that. And okay. Well, I am gonna take the upgrade here. It's not super powerful, but I think if there is any direction that the game is giving us right now, it's that we could try and scale this. And that makes me want to get value scaling items. And here are some value scaling items. So we definitely want the rewards card. We also definitely want the ATM. The problem is we only have 4 gold to spend. You know, ATM is, I think, the better pickup. But a rewards card would allow us to start scaling this burn damage. And we could also put a succulence on board. Let's see, we actually, I'm realizing, could just take and sell the ATM, and that would leave us with 2 gold, so we could buy the rewards card, and so I will do that. I would like to keep the ATM around, but I think that this is the more impactful play. We miss out on succulence, but succulence was not that good to begin with, so I feel comfortable moving past it. Okay, can we defeat the rogue scrapper? That's a good question. Let's sell these off first. So we'll sell chocolate, gumball, yellow gumball, and I'll put this red gumball on board. Could give 1 crit chance to our items, which is not crazy. What are we doing? We are going to have 795, and we are going to be making up a difference. I could even just sell this. 48. So Silk Scarf is going to go off 3 times before the sandstorm. So we'll have nearly 150. So we're looking at about 950. And this Kiuas, you know, it's not nothing. I think the math is looking okay for us. Let's see, we talked about that. It's going to be 240 total damage, and we are going to be negating 150 of that, plus another tick of that. Yeah, it could be close, but I think we can defeat the rogue scrapper. We have even more HP than I thought. Yeah, I think with this amount of max HP, we should just be able to beat them in the sandstorm. Again, I could be wrong. Math is not my strongest suit, but I do think that that is favoring us currently if my preliminary math skills are working. Okay. So, this golden scrap would actually be pretty good for our silk scarf. And again, we could have looked for something I didn't even see, frankly. I was too lost in the sauce, seeing if we could defeat the rogue scrapper if we had the crab to face, the coconut crab. Coconut crab could have given us the crusher claw, which basically says deal damage equal to your highest shield item, but that's okay. I think gaining maximum of HP and maximum XP is always a very fine thing to do. And let's see what they give us. Okay, they give us a rust skill, so at the start of each fight we slow 1. That could be pretty important with a skill that enables freezing is what I'm trying to say. There you go. If we have a skill that says when you slow freeze an item, this will happen at the start of fight, and that'll be very good for all portions of the game. We don't have a lot of gold here, but we do want to scale our Kiuas, so let us go to the shop here. And unfortunately, we don't see a small item. I would like to reroll, I think, here to try and see if we can get a small bronze tier item. Wow, okay. We see a silk scarf upgrade, and we see steam ladle and hot stones. I think hot stones could be pretty good for us. Put this gumball in the backpack. Would really like the silk scarf upgrade, and I guess I could sell the rewards card to facilitate that. That would allow us to scale the silk scarf much more effectively. That being said, the silk scarf is not like a very, very powerful item in its own right. And if we are trying to burn our opponents, I do just like having more burn on the board. Hot stones, if we're again thinking the 30-second mark, it's going to go off 5 times, and thus it's going to give us 5 regeneration. I don't expect the hot stones to really stack up the burn to a point where we're actually doing an efficient amount of damage. And I would really like to see if we could scale this thing. I am unsure that this is a wise decision to try and do so, but I would like to try. I've seen it work on other people's builds, so let's see if we can do it. And steam ladle is very good, but we don't have any freezing. Okay, I'm just going to take the hot stones here and move past the silk scarf. The silk scarf upgrade I think would have been best, but we also have the option to do it right now here too if we'd like. I instead am going to go to our rewards card and upgrade that. It's not going to be very powerful right now, but it is going to allow us to be powerful later. And here's a cool thing, our Vanessa has one of these skins that I believe comes from this new the Bazaar feature where you can purchase skins on the kind of like a daily basis, and when you get them they're like a limited edition. There's only so many that have come out, and they all look really cool. I like that skin a lot. That being said, we're in this fight. We have way more max HP and regeneration than this Vanessa, and they also don't have any way to reload their items, so this is just a waiting game until we defeat them. Man, this Healthy Hoarder skin is pretty, or Healthy Hoarder skill is so insane. Having plus 800 max HP on day 2, there's just no way that they were ever being able to defeat us there. Awesome. Little victory for us. Now I can see what's in day number 3. And okay, we get a level up here. Could get bronze tier item, bronze tier loot, and 2 gold, but I am going to take this bronze tier spare change. This represents 5 gold, and additionally it also represents a decent amount of scaling on our silk scarf. And speaking of scaling our silk scarf, we could go to the eating contest and put another 5 times 4, so 20 shielding on our silk scarf. That could be pretty effective. But we do just want to keep scaling this Kiuas, so I am going to go to the weapons vendor here. Okay, well there is a regal blade. It's not really synergizing what we want. Obviously this being a weapons vendor is not really what we want, but I do think that locking in 2 points of burn and value, and really 4 points of value as the rewards card in itself also gains value, is very good for us. Do I want to re-roll? What would I like to see here if we did that? Not much. It really would be Spiky Shield. I'm willing to spend 2 gold to see if we hit Spiky Shield. Okay, and we do. We also see Jabalian Longbow, which is pretty nice. But I will take the Spiky Shield. It's also kind of a lot of gold. Yeah, I'll take the Spiky Shield. I think that could be something that we want. It's not great on our board, but it's not bad either. And yeah, let's keep scaling. Let's go to this next vendor here. And okay, I definitely like some of these items. Can sell some of the spare change. And I think getting Crystal Bonsai and winning the next fight could be pretty nice. Additionally, getting the cash register is pretty good. Can put the Spiky Shield on board, I suppose. I do like cash register. It synergizes well with our silk scarf, and I do like the Crystal Bonsai. That being said, we can only purchase one of them. The Crystal Bonsai slots into our board right now, and we would then be able to sell it for 8 gold. So that'd be a nice little doubling of the value. Cash register again, it's going to enable our silk scarf. Yeah, Crystal Bonsai, that's a tough one. I am going to be going to a lot of shops, so just because I want to use our rewards card, so I am going to want to have the most amount of money possible, and that is, it makes me feel like I want the Crystal Bonsai. And cash register, so at the start of each day, essentially we'd be able to get 2 gold and add shielding here. Yeah, I'm going to take the long-term play. I'm going to take the cash register. We could also take the piggy bank here and put the rewards card on the piggy bank, but I want to get every point of burn on this Kiuas that I can. Okay, can we now defeat the scout trooper? Let's fight the scout trooper. Realistically, this spiky shield with the timing on the silk scarf may only do 20 damage depending on how much damage our monster fight here is doing, but I think contributing anything to the board right now makes sense, and the timing did work out for us. That's nice. So you can see the scout trooper got buffed, I believe, as the weak point detector is now a little bit better, and so is the Uzi. But we do just have a lot of max HP, healthy hoarder again coming through for us. And also these hot stones giving us regenerations looking pretty good too. And hey, we're actually doing a pretty respectable amount of burn, stacking it even though. Nice. And I don't know that we really want anything from the scout trooper, but the max experience gain is really the big prize here, as this will allow us to now level up before the day is done. So now we know we're leveling up, and thus we want to be able to fill our board space. Curio, what would Curio have that I would like? Maybe like haste boots or something like that. Again, I would really like to take this regeneration, but I do want to scale our burn as much as possible, so let's go to Curio. Okay, there are the haste boots, and there's a temporary shelter. It says when you sell a small item, this gains 5 shield. That could be pretty good, as we're trying to already do that with Silk Scarf, and we did pick up this cash register. It's also a property. It's not as good by any stretch of the imagination in my mind as a fixer-upper, but I do think that it makes sense to purchase with our current situation. We have this spiky shield, we know kind of what direction we want to go, and then the nice thing about it is, in comparison to a fixer-upper would require us to scale its value where we have this rewards card, but we really want to scale our Kiuas with this rewards card, so it would kind of have its own separate clause for how it would scale. That does sound good to me. Now we don't have enough gold to buy the boots and the shelter. And what would our board look like? We would take off this rewards card, put in the shelter. But I do think rocket boots could be very strong for us. If I took rocket boots, we also have another shop here, I'm realizing. Yeah, temporary shelter. The shielding would work well with spiky shield. I think I'm willing to scale this. Rocket boots is okay. Yeah, I'll take the temporary shelter. Okay. Now we would like to sell and then pick up something else. I kind of want to save our gold for the next shop, even if it is just going to be like 3 gold to work with, essentially. Yeah, we can keep it going. And we see, we could get a property. That could be very good. But I am going to just, again, keep scaling this burn here. And we see little hot stones upgrade. Nice. So sell this grappling hook. We'll take the hot stones upgrade. Oh, that is a considerable upgrade. We gain 4 regen instead of 1. Jeez, that's really good. Okay. And we'll be putting our temp shelter on the board more than likely. Okay, we're not maximizing off this healthy hoarder, but we are creating a more effective shield scaling build. Okay, let's keep on going. And now we could upgrade an item. Yeah, I think I'm willing to do that. Let's upgrade a bronze tier item. We can go ahead and fix our board. Put in the shelter. Okay. Well, we're facing a Mac here. As I've talked about before, Mac is pretty scary. Let's sell the scumballs as well. But no way but through. Let's see what they're working with. Mac is pretty scary. It's just as a new hero, their items are pretty powerful, and seeing a poison build is maybe it's either the best or worst case scenario. We'll see. They aren't going to be affecting our shields unless our spiky shield is going to be doing a lot of damage. But they do have some regen and lifesteal. I can't tell this one. I think we'll actually be able to get there as well because we're doing a considerable amount of burn damage. And yeah, they just aren't chipping away at our shields. It is getting a little close. I think we got this one. Yes. We live with 124 HP and 200 shields, but we were able to get there. Yeah, they had a pretty nice poison build too, but again, healthy hoarder. It's a pretty good skill. Okay, well, let's see what we have here. We could go to the docks, could get a small tool. I'm willing to go to Ayla to see if we can get like the hand axe, because that would be 2 small items for us to sell. I think the docks is what I would normally take, but as we're doing this build, this kind of more experimental build, I'm willing to go to Ayla here. Okay, and we see briefcase. So briefcase is going to sell for itself. So we can take the briefcase. We can sell the briefcase. We don't even need to sell the briefcase just yet. Could see if we get like mids worth or something like that to maximize the value. And cool. Let's keep going. And now we see chocolate bars. I think we want chocolate bars. Although again, now we're kind of between a rock and a hard place here. We want to scale this burn damage. But we also want to scale our temp shelter and our spiky shield. It also scales our silk scarf. We don't have a lot of money either for Kina, so I think, well, I guess we do have 10 that I'm willing to work with. That's not nothing. Yeah, let us go to Kina. And okay, we see cold room, which is pretty strong. It says freeze one item for 1 second has a 10-second cooldown, but when you freeze, gain 3 regen, and when your enemy uses an item, charge it. So this is a pretty good item overall. Bootstraps I really like as well. I think I do want to take the bootstraps at the very least, so let's sell these things off. And the bootstraps will allow us to upgrade our silk scarf and spiky shield naturally. We don't really want to upgrade the spiky shield as it doesn't do much for us, but upgrading our silk scarf right now would be good, and we can also upgrade our bootstraps as well if we would like. I think that makes sense to me. We don't also have a lot of value generation out because we're using the rewards card to scale our Kiuas. That does actually make me kind of want to roll past this and see if we can find like a pinata or something. Yeah, let's reroll. Okay, so we see a fixer-upper and we see an ATM. Jabalion Drum has been buffed here. It's used to say when you use a weapon, your weapons gain 1 damage for the fight, and then subsequently 2, 3. But now it gains 5, and then I think 10, 15. Okay. And I am going to take the ATM here, of course. Gaining income is very strong. Do I want to take this fixer-upper? That is a good question. I think fixer-upper is better than temp shelter as we talked about, but I'll just keep things as is. And okay, I think we can defeat the flame juggler. I guess we can look that up. So let's go to day 4. Let's go to flame juggler. And so they're initially going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. So 36 burn plus the lighter. And then they're going to do another 10 burn, so 46. And they're also going to be burning every 3 seconds for 2. You know, I'm doing this like I could tell you the math and scaling of this. You know, there is actually someone I saw in the Discord for this game, for the Bazaar, that had like generated and did algorithmically how much damage each point of burn is going to do. So I think I'm going to check that out at a later point, but let's go ahead and fight the flame juggler. Again, maximum experience, maximum HP, and this is doing a lot to us, so we'll see how this works out. I think with our shielding we'll be okay, and additionally we're going to be putting some good amount of burn on them, and gaining regeneration with our hot stones. Yeah, looks like we're going to be just fine. We have reached the point with our Kiuas where it is scaling burn on them, so it's stacking burn for every instance, which is pretty nice. And let's see what they give us. Cinders, okay. I'm here for some cinders. Alright, now we see B1, B2. And I think I'll pop these cinders here. B1, B2. Upgrading Silk Scarf would be nice. Silk Scarf, although, is not really the name of the game as it goes later. I think let's just go to JJ. Yeah, let's go to JJ. Okay, Sauna. When you burn, heal 10 and gain 1 regen for the fight. I do like that. We don't have a lot of separate instances of burn, so that is something to consider. Heal 10's not that strong, and the gain 1 regen's not that strong. Yeah, maybe that is not what we want. So overall, let's see, our hot stones is going to go off. And again, I try and measure everything by that 30-second mark. Hot stones is going to go off 5 times. The sauna will have gone off 4 times. And then this Kiuas will have gone off 3 times. And so, as I said, 5, 4, 3. So it's 9, 12. So this represents 12 regeneration. That's not that strong, unfortunately. So let's reroll. Okay. Oh, I see pitchfork here. This is a new item. It says every 10 seconds deals 75 damage, but at the start of each day get a truffle. If you have a property, get a second truffle. I would like that. That is a good way to get some money. So let's buy this briefcase and immediately sell this briefcase. And then I will buy this pitchfork. Okay. We're not going to play the pitchfork, but it is a way for us to just scale our other items. And now we've leveled up. Let's look at some silver tier skills. Okay, when you use a tool, heal 10. Is this Kiuas a tool? Yeah, it is, but it's only going off 3 times. Properties have 10 crit chance. That could be good. Let's do that. I think increasing all the cooldown, or all cooldowns on everyone's board by 1 is probably not going to favor us compared to our opponents, so let's see what we have here. Could gain some chocolates, could go to Midsworth. I don't really want to sell anything at Midsworth, but I guess I do just want to keep stacking burn. Although silver tier chocolates, I think at this point, we have this crit chance on our temporary shelter. Yeah, let's keep stacking. Let's go to Midsworth here. And okay, we don't really see anything that we would like to buy or sell. Guess we could sell this brass knuckles. That would give us 1 more point on the shelter, but I don't think we need to do that. And okay, let's fight another mech. And I guess overall here we're kind of at odds with our build. We do want to get all these small items and buy and sell them for our shelter, but we also want to keep gaining burn on our Kiuas. I think that this Kiuas could be more beneficial to us overall, which is why I keep doing it, but we shall see. We're fighting a mech here. Notably, the Athenor has been nerfed. But that being said, it looks like it is going to be defeating us here. Yeah. The potion build on Mac and Athenor still very, very strong. You can see here that Athenor did 72 points of burn. Additionally, their bottle lightning did 30. Yeah. I don't think a temporary shelter with more on it would have done us any better. And okay, we got all these truffles. We'd love to see it. We can now start value stacking our luxury Kiuas with that. And that'll also help enable our silk scarf and temporary shelter synergies. Now, we could go to Sylvia, or we could go to an economics seminar. I think this is one of the rare moments where I am just going to get the value here. Let's go to the seminar. And wow, we got a ledger. Very nice. And a fixer-upper. So we just got a fixer-upper build in our backpack just like that. Okay, so let's sell these truffles. Sell these spare change. And I'm realizing I could have actually maximized a little bit and not sold all that at once so that I would have, the ledger would have seen those items getting sold, but that's okay. Well, now our backpack's pretty stuffed. Looking at our temporary shelter and feeling like, well, you know, we said we could do this and scale this, but now we just have a fixer-upper. And our fixer-upper and Kiuas with a ledger is going to be probably just way more powerful overall. We're in day 5, so it's not like we are in a tremendous position to scale in the late game, or I guess what I'm trying to say rather is that we are pretty early. Not super early for the fixer-upper, but we are in a position where we can capitalize off of it rather effectively. We also have the spiky shield. Yeah, I think I'm probably going to start scaling our fixer-upper. But before we do that, let's keep scaling our Kiuas. And are there any things that we want here? Yeah, just super tight on the backpack space. I do want to just start buying and selling things so that I can get value through ledger, and I think at this point I am going to be upgrading our ledger next opportunity we can. Do I want to re-roll anything here? There are some good hits for us, so I will re-roll. And there we get the ledger upgrade. Perfect. So, how do we want to do this? What are we selling? Maybe it's just the cash register. Yeah, the cash registers, the reason I'm selling this is because it's going to require so much space in our backpack, and Pitchfork is kind of like an upgraded cash register for us in some ways. So we'll sell the cash register. And I will buy this ledger. Golden ledger. Very, very good. Okay, and Trash Town Mayor. Alright. Well, let's fight the Trash Town Mayor. Trash Town Mayor, I think this fight will determine a lot of where we want to go from here. Because they have this augmented defense skill which says your shield items have +1 shield, and when you sell a small item, increase this bonus by 1, which obviously works very well with temporary shelter. And they also have a temporary shelter, so we could just get a gold temporary shelter here. So we'll see what happens. You know, all this said, I do really want to just keep stacking the burn on this thing, but it's making more sense to start stacking the value elsewhere. Let me get pepper spray. Okay. Okay. Here's it. Not making our lives easy. Let's sell the pepper spray. This is where we have to make the decision. Are we going to use the temporary shelter? Additionally, we could use the temporary shelter and the fixer-upper. We could sell off these hot stones and the silk scarf. Obviously the silk scarf is contributing a lot to our spiky shield right now. But our temporary shelter and our fixer-upper might just be better overall. And that would then free up 3 space. We'd have 5. That'd be perfect. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Sell these hot stones, sell the silk scarf. We're going to start utilizing this fixer-upper. And this is all because we see this candy collector here. Gain 5 silver tier chocolate bars or gumballs. Let's take that. Okay. Now we can... Yeah, this is fine. We can sell. And now let's make sure our items are in the correct position. And this is a separate clause, so let's go to eating contest. Let's gain some bronze chocolates. And now we can sell. Cool. Starting to come together. Okay. Now we really want to keep doing that as much as possible. And here's Midsworth. You know, Midsworth could have some upgrades. I'm willing to go to Midsworth. We'll keep scaling this. Okay. Fixer-upper. The thing about buying Fixer-upper is it already is going to keep upgrading itself naturally, so we don't need to purchase an upgrade for it. It would only be to facilitate having more shields early on, which is very good. And maybe we want to do that just because we are a little weak on our board now. That being said, I do also like just buying piggles and then buying and selling jewelry. Piggles will be an item generator if we win fights, and I feel confident we're at least going to win the monster encounters. So there is that. So we know we get like at least 1 of these a day, ideally 2. But our build's not super strong to know that we're going to win the fight each day. Yeah, we are looking a little weak. If I buy and sell the jewelry, we won't have enough for the fixer-upper. Okay. Yeah, because it's on board, I am going to go for the upgrade here. I don't like that. I really, frankly, do not like that we did that. But I think what this means is we have a better shot at potentially winning some of these fights for the next couple days. Okay, we're against another Mac, and our items are in a decent place. Let's fight. 43 burn on our Kiuas is also pretty good. That being said, it's super slow, so we'll see what happens. Okay, they have leeches, proboscis, spider mace, some regen items, heavy fireflies. So they have a little bit of slow, of a haste potion. They don't have great survivability. They don't have a lot of poisoning either, yeah, so I think we'll be just a-okay here. And yeah, we're putting 70 burn on them, that's pretty strong. And thinking about our last decision, you know, for this fight we would not have needed the upgraded fixer-upper, but I think our line of thinking still makes sense. Okay, and this is turning into a pretty fun build here. Let's go into day 6. Okay, could go to JJ, work at the docks. The docks would be pretty nice for us. We also have these truffles. I think I can feel comfortable going to JJ. Let's go to JJ. Well, I'm not going to be taking another fixer-upper upgrade. I don't even have anywhere near enough money to do so. And I will reroll here. So we get like Pinata or something like that, that'd be good. We didn't get that. That's okay. I can leave. Okay, and here's gumballs. Gumballs are pretty good for us. So we'd only be able to get 7 gumballs. But that's enough for a little upgrade for us. So let's do want to start stacking value on the fixer-upper. Yeah, I think with the spiky shield it's going to make more sense. I'll still put the ledger value on the Kiuas, but fixer-upper ultimately could replace our Kiuas in the long run. So this feels a little sacrilegious now that I've put so much into this Kiuas, but I do like the idea of getting more shielding on the fixer-upper. Yeah, let's do that. And put these items up here for right now. Let's go get some gumballs. And now 3 crit gumballs, that's pretty nice. Let's make sure that's hitting that. It is. Let's sell these, get 2 more gumballs. Oh, we got 4 crit gumballs overall, that's pretty lucky. And okay, put these back on board. I feel like we could defeat the lone shark. Let's do that. And getting an ATM would be nice. We're not going to use crashing waves. Power broker's not going to be that great for us. Cash cannon could be something, but really we're just here for the XP. Hey, 4% crit when you crit with the spiky shield. I'll take it. As we see, 53 burn is also a very large amount of burn. Especially for day 6. And we get a shark ray. Okay, looks like 8 gold to me. Okay, now we can upgrade an item. Why don't we look at this option here? So luxury Kiuas. When you sell a property, this gains 3 value. Yeah, not really what we want. And if the temporary shelter we've talked about, could just upgrade the rewards card. You know, pitchfork. Let's see. Pitchfork, I imagine, would just give us golden truffles. It doesn't say that explicitly, but we've been getting silver tier truffles and it's at silver, so I assume that's what's going to happen. And then truffles themselves then just give us +3 value. Yeah, well, let's sell this shark ray. We don't need to do that just yet. I will upgrade the temporary shelter, I think. Doesn't sound bad. We know we're wanting to buy and sell a lot of small things, so scaling this doesn't sound like a crazy idea. And hey, there's some chocolate bars. There's also Midsworth, which would make our Shark Ray worth more, but let's sell the Shark Ray. And then let's gain some chocolate bars. Okay, now we see Volpack here. Going to Finn's Big Bite and getting more regen is good too, but I like going to Volpack because we got bronze tier chocolates, so now all these chocolates are actually worth 1. So let's go there. And you know, I'm realizing we also had this rewards card in this chocolate bar, but we don't have a lot of money, so that's not even crazy that we're just gaining a little more money here. I'm not sad about that. So I can sell all these, and then this will be at 9, just ready to pop. So I can put these back up here. And I see a gold ATM, so we can buy and sell that. Buy it, sell it. We just got our value. Nice. And I will take the safe. The safe will give us, fortunately, silver spare change. I guess it's all the same, really, if it was to be different. Now, do we want to reroll? You know, I'm getting to the point where I'm kind of willing to sell this rewards card, so we could see something nice here. Yeah, let's reroll. Okay, signet ring's pretty good. Piggles we've talked about. Let's put these back on board. And I will take the signet ring. I may end up just buying and selling it at some point, but I think it's okay if that happens. Okay, we're fighting a dually. And it looks like everything is where it should be. Let us fight. Let's see what they have. A lot of burn skills. They have a solar farm, they have ignition core. So I don't think our spiky shield's gonna do much here. It's really gonna come down to our shielding and our Kiuas. That being said, our spiky shield did do 600 to them, that's quite a bit. And they have 143 burn on them. It's gonna be close. We get there, nice. Man, Spiky Shield did come through in the end. Really, it's Temporary Shelter that did a lot of the heavy lifting. Let's look at that. So, the Luxury Kiuas went off twice, but it looks to have crit once. So that was a very big game. We might have actually needed that crit to survive. And the Spiky Shield did 579 damage. Pretty good. Okay. So we go to Paul. Paul is not going to have any upgrades for our board, unfortunately. That being said, there are properties that we could buy and sell. And, you know, seeing all of that burn happen, I'm just kind of tempted to flip-flop and go back onto the fixer-upper, but I think the truffles onto this, or to put value on the Kiuas, I should say, but I think the truffles on the fixer-upper is making the most sense to me. Okay. And let's see. Gain a temporary boost, could also gain 5 gold. I think I'll take this opportunity here to put some value on our fixer-upper. Also, just feeling like fixer-upper is doing less than it normally does. Am I crazy? I think I'm just crazy. I think this is what it has always done. It hasn't been nerfed, has it? I doubt it. No? No. I think I'm just crazy, okay. Check the patch notes there. But anyway, yeah, let's go to Paul and just lock in some value. Okay, billboard is very good. And we could certainly utilize that. That being said, I don't think I want to do that currently, as I have some pretty good items that I'm putting some scaling on, so I don't need that. The billboard has been reworked, so it also says this item's cooldown is reduced by 1 for every value it has, and your shield and items gain your shield or heal. When you shield or heal, give your items +1 value for the fight. +1 value is good, but it's not a huge amount. That being said, if the billboard is going off for every 1 second, then it's like +30 value for your items for the fight, but for a fixer-upper build, generally speaking, you kind of enchant it with like fiery or poison, and you just have it go off once or twice, and that's all you need, so not too interested in that. Yeah, I'm willing to just kind of keep moving forward from here. We locked in our value, and now we see gumballs. Okay, perfect. So let's put our things in position. Need 4, so let's go to gumballs. And fortunately can't hit the button to buy 5 of them at a time, but that's okay. Can do it the old-fashioned way. I remember when there was no buy 5 button. What a time that we live in now, where we could buy them 5 at a time. And sell them. Okay. These back on board. I think we could defeat the shock trooper. Let's do it. Sergeant Suds also has a skill that gives, I believe it's +15 value to your leftmost item at the start of each day. So there is a consideration there, but I think I do want to just hit level 10 as fast as possible, and I would also like to get the most gold that I can from these fights. Yeah, pretty large amount of burn on them. I think we would just want the highest value item that they could provide here. Plasma grenade is not it, but it is still something to buy and sell. And okay, we see weapon skills, gold tier skills. Let's look at some gold tier skills. Artillery spotter sounds very nice. If you have 5 or fewer items, they have +30 crit chance. Yeah, that sounds great. So now in conjunction we have 40 through skills crit chance on our board. Very cool. And yep, willing to sell this plasma grenade. And now we see Nufu. We don't have a lot of money for Nufu. As I was saying, I would be willing to sell this rewards card at this point. There are like some pinata and briefcase and safe or vault that are pretty good buy and sell targets from this Mattel. Getting a skill could be very good for us too. Yeah, I'm willing to go to Nufu. I don't know that I'm willing to reroll, but okay. Even more crit chance sounds good. There's also flanking criticals. First time you use a large item each fight, adjacent items gain +15 crit chance, so that would add a good amount to our spiky shield and luxury Kiuas. Yeah, I'm willing to take that. Okay, and now could gain some spare change, and that would allow us to get a chunk of value. So let's do that. Sell, sell, sell. Put these back on board. Okay. Oh, I'm realizing what I thought the fixer-upper was nerfed, but it's really the ledger that's nerfed. This is not giving 10 value, it's giving 8 value every time we sell 10 items. Good to know. And we have 2 space for our truffles. Let's fight this Vanessa. Let's see, they have a cannon, a cannonade, submersible, so they have damage. The obsidian lighter is kind of scary. This is going to do 240 damage to us, I think, something like that. Okay, we just... the spiky shield one-shot them. That is the fixer-upper dream right there. So, turns out putting the crit chance on it was a good idea. At over 50% crit chance, so kind of a coin flip, and we got the coin flip. Okay, now we got our truffles here. I think I'm still willing to put those on our fixer-upper. Let's see, that represents 8 shielding, I suppose, or 16 shields. Yeah, let's not get too greedy with it. Did I miss the value? Oh, I don't think I did. No, okay. Had a surprise Pikachu face for a moment there, but I think we're all good. Now I could go to Kina and see if we could get an upgrade. Or just see what we see. Washawali Bird. Diamond Silk Scarf. A little late for that. Let's roll. And here's a Landscraper. This is what I was talking about earlier. It's been reworked. It says every 7 seconds shield for 200, which is pretty good on its own. And then it also says your shield items have plus shield equal to this item's value. And it says when you sell 10 items, give this plus 10 value. So it in its own right will scale itself and scale all your other items. So you wouldn't even need something like a ledger to get this going, which I think is super strong. That being said, I don't think we want it currently. I think our fixer-upper is making sense for us. I'm actually thinking about that again. Fixer-upper is doing 328. And if we scale the Landscraper, it would work in conjunction very well together, the Landscraper and the Fixer-upper, because the Landscraper says your shield items have plus shield equal to this item's value. However, the temporary shelter is already so big for us that I don't know that we need to pivot into the Landscraper. I think that would be a downgrade and we'd be spending a lot of time catching up to even get to this amount of shielding. So yeah, if I'd seen this maybe like 2 days ago, I would have gone the Landscraper, but I think that being said, we're in an okay spot. And okay, you see chocolate bars, so alright, Signet Ring, I think it's your time to go. Goodbye. And let's gain some chocolates. Let's get the bronze tier chocolates as well. And I'll just go ahead and sell them in case something strange happens where I would want that extra space. And how close are we on our ledger? We need 2 more. Okay, do we defeat the dragon? I think we do. Let's fight the dragon. Dragon does do a lot of burn damage for sure, but so do we, and we're putting up a tremendous amount of block. Really, it's the spiky shield. Yeah, doing 6,000 on a crit. Looking pretty strong.
It's all about motivation. You gotta know
Oh wow, we get the dragon heart. So it doubles the burn of an item for the fight. When you burn or use a dragon, charges 2 seconds. I'm not sure that we're gonna use that, but that is super good. Yes, silver tier loot here on our level up. Silver feather, very nice. And we see some gumballs. Cool. Let's get these in the right place. Yeah, I think this item, this dragon heart, is incredibly strong. The only problem is that it has an 11-second cooldown and we don't have a way to get that much shorter currently. Doubling the burn on our Kiuas would be very good. See, I'll sell it. It's a lot of gold for us. And I'll sell the feather. And then now let us get some gumballs. Let's sell these off. Get some more. I'll just sell them off right now. Let's see, we should be in a good spot there. Okay. Let's go to JJ here. I would have loved to level up here, but let's go to JJ. A pinata. Let's buy it. Let's sell it. I'll even buy the business card. We have so much money now. I'm just gonna buy and sell everything. Maybe not everything. I will sell these succulents at least. And we're 2 away, or we're 3 away, and there's only 2 items in the shop. I don't know that it's worth going too hard on buying these. We'd be losing 10 gold. Yeah, I guess that's not crazy. I'll just keep moving forward. And let us fight another Vanessa. They're also level 9, notably, so kind of lucky for us they don't have an enchantment unless they somehow high rolled one. They do have a lot of weapons. 2 katanas, yikes. 2 katanas that are scaling the switchblade even more, yikes. Figurehead also pretty good here. And they did freezer shelter, but spiky shield with crit chance prevails yet again. Okay. Getting to the point here where I don't even know if we need this Kiuas. Ooh, okay, wow. So we see haste enchantment or random enchantment. Let's look at a haste enchantment on the fixer upper. So you haste 3 items for 1 second. That is good. We could also just put something even crazier on it. Getting toxic or burn would be best. Yeah, there's so many good enchantments for this. You know, let me look at the temporary shelter and see how that reads. This has double shield. What is the fiery? So it's burn 10, poison 10. Oh, so it's just like the fixer-upper. Fixer-upper is just going off a little bit faster, but the temporary shelter certainly has the higher numbers on it. My only thought is that so many times when you go to the artist, it just, I don't know why, and I don't know if this is anecdotal, but I've seen it happen for other people too, is that it just gives you the enchantment that you saw anyway on the left side of it. I don't know, that just happens so many times, but if it's turbo, it's turbo. That's okay. Poison. Perfect, perfect. Maybe fiery damage would have been even better, but this is still very good. And now that it's toxic, I think I want to do this. So the fixer-upper is going to go off, and then that'll give this more crit chance through our flanking critical skill. And here, 3 spare change is probably the best. Okay, this is going to go off pretty soon here. Let's do this. And I will gain the spare change. Although Prospero could be very good. Yeah, I can go to Prospero. We have a lot of money to utilize, so. Okay, upgrade on our rewards card. We'll just buy and sell this piggy bank. There was a play we could have made with it for sure, but our boards, we don't have a ton of room in our backpack. And okay, diamond boomerang could be pretty good. I think I actually am going to buy that boomerang. Yeah, makes sense to me. My thinking is that we are probably going to win these fights without the Kiuas, and we could get cooldown reduction through the boomerang. Speaking of cooldown reduction, here's the monster ranch. Oh wow, I could just gain 3 experience. I mean, insect wing is probably what I want. 3 experience is so much though. Yeah, let's gain the XP. Okay, so we are very far away from that. Let's sell this just so I do not forget. And let's continue to maximize on XP. The Enclave Revenant also has exposing toxins, which is not bad. And that's really, I think, all we would want. Outside of that, I'm not sure. Spiky Shield. doing what it does. And now with our boomerang, we are gonna get a diamond tier loot as well. Bandages? Sure. Take bandages. Got a diamond snowflake. Okay, that's me. Me in human form. Okay, we have shield skills. We could also get Pygmalien skills. There are very good shield skills for sure. Pygmalien skills, though, can have cooldown reductions for our properties, or even crit chance. Even 5 crit chance is good, but I really want the cooldown reduction. We didn't get that, but we have overheal regen. When you overheal, gain 5 regeneration, but we also have chocoholic. When you sell a medium or large item, gain a chocolate bar. This may look innocuous, but it's actually stupidly powerful. And we shall see soon enough. So, now here, I don't have any freezing things, but let's just sell this, 1, 2, 3, space. Just looking at this eating contest. You know, now we could probably sell this Kiuas. Although, I'd want it on board. I don't think that's bad. Are we going to sell the rewards card? I don't think so. Let's go to Ayla. Now I can do this sort of thing. We buy it, sell it. We're just gaining a lot of value this way. We'll upgrade to our pitchfork. Won't say no to that. And we're 7 away, so we can buy the Beast of Burden. Sell it, Regal Blade, buy, sell. And I will sell the rewards card. And I'll buy this pitchfork upgrade. And now let's continue to do what we were doing. Let's go to JJ. And let's buy and sell all these things. Buy it, sell it, buy it, sell it. And, oh wow, golden bootstraps. That's pretty good. But doesn't have really anything to upgrade, so buy it, sell it. And Pig's Gym, you're being bought, you're being sold. And we are, okay, we're actually perfect. We love it when we're actually perfect. Okay, let's put the fixer upper back in, let's put the Kiuas back in, and let's fight a Vanessa.
I should warn
You should know, I'm a bit of a legend on Pelago.
Okay, what do they have? So they have diamond spices, yikes, and then a guaranteed critting Langshan. So I think this is going to come down to a lot of timing. Nice, the spiky shield hits when it needs to hit, and it crits when it needs to crit. Man, spiky shield, you're being a real friend right now. I love that. Okay, let's keep moving forward. Day 10. What do we see here? I see golden truffles. That's the first thing I see. Let's put those here. We know we're going to want to do this. And we have only 4 spaces in our backpack. So we'll go to Ayla. Buy a dog. Put this up here. Buy a dog, sell a dog. And then, yeah, I can buy this flail, sell the flail. Reroll. Let's buy and sell this tusk helm as well. And gumballs, nice. Crit chance gumballs are the name of the game. We've got 1. That's all we get for now. Okay. Do I want to sell this pitchfork? Do I want to sell this Kiuas? That's another thing. we're getting to the point where I don't really need this. I just kind of want to get like a balcony. So if we want to get a balcony, I won't worry about it too much right now. I will sell the pitchfork, and I will buy some gumballs. And we are getting close now to that being where it needs to be, and let us fight the property baron. Property baron has incredible skills. Could double our value of our items for combat, gain 2 value every day. The big numbers would also be very good. And spiky shield yet again, doing great things for us. Crits when it didn't even have to. You didn't even need to do that, buddy. And wow. Wow. Master Salesman, your items have double value during combat. You'd love to see it. And I will just take the loot here. Insect wing, okay. Let's put this here. Let's put this. Ooh, we got diamond truffles, nice. Let's sell that. Put this here. Sell that. And it's looking pretty nice. Could get a property. We don't have a ton of money anymore. It's from all my buying and selling poor habits. Let's go to Jules Cafe. Take the extra max HP. And then do I want to go to Prospero? Sure. Okay. Rewards card comes back to us. And that's all she wrote. Let's fight this Vanessa. I definitely have been going a little overboard on the buying and selling, instead of going and getting chocolates and things of that nature, but I do think that there is potential higher value in going to buy and sell items. Would have been better with a rewards card, but I abandoned this plan.
Next time, boys, less blunder.
Okay, spiky shield does 4,000 some odd damage. Pretty good. And if we see a medium item vendor, I'm probably going to go there just so that I can try and get a balcony at this point. That being said, chocolates are good, so let's get some chocolates. And okay, put the items in the correct places. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it. And pretty far away from that. Could go to a weapons vendor yet again. Sure.
My battle days are over. And my weapons,
Okay, pitchfork, you're back, and yet again you are gone. We are 2 away, so this golf clubs will get us to where we want to be. Obsidian Beast of Burden, that's a very strong item. Okay. I don't need to reroll there, I don't think. And now, let's fight the property baron yet again. Come back and see if we can get big numbers. That would be perfect. If only we could get Master Salesman again, that'd be ideal. Can always dream. And Spiky Shield says get off me and does 9,000 points of damage. Love to see it. Okay, they give us a skyscraper. Okay. And could upgrade an item here. We get diamond gunpowder. It's pretty nice. How far away are we from Ledger? Pretty far. Could upgrade the temp shelter, I suppose. Let's look at gold tier skills. This could be even better for us. Okay. Shield Bash. The first 4 times your enemy uses a non-weapon item, charge 1 weapon. Sounds good. Sounds good. You know, it may mess up the timing for our spiky shield to go off now that I think about it, but it happens, it happens. We can... Does this skyscraper make more sense? Let's just free up some space here. So, we could try and put that in. So skyscraper says deal damage equal to 3 times the value of your items. So the total value of your items. And thus, could do something like this, where the skyscraper is also going to have double value in combat. It says if you have 5 or fewer items, it says +1 multicast, so it's going to have double value, so it's going to do 4,000 every 7 seconds. I mean, that is good. That is certainly good. Their fixer-upper. Thing about the temporary shelters, it provides so much shield for us. But 4,000 guaranteed damage is also very, very good. Yeah, that's tricky. Let's go to the mysterious portal here before I make too many crazy decisions. Bazaar, okay. Can get 2 XP. I don't know how much that matters. I'll get a diamond tier item. Let's see what we got. Spices. Huh. I wish we didn't sell that gunpowder. Okay. So toxic shelter is providing both damage and survivability. And there's even a world where I could do something like this. And then this toxic skyscraper, or this skyscraper rather, is going to be doing 8,000 damage if it has the opportunity to go off again. Being that we're on day 11, it's not even guaranteed that we would survive for 14 seconds. So yeah, we're kind of spoiled for choice here. Why don't we go to Quixel and just see if there's literally a balcony. Well, there's literally a balcony. Can sell that now. So now their balcony. Can do this. And this is going to double and then double. That's gotta be good. And then now there won't be any weird timing issues with the spiky shield and shield bash skill. We can sell this chocolate, right? Yeah. And these spices we won't have space for. We're going to want to do that as well, so I can give this crit. Alright. Well, sometimes you literally just get the balcony. So this should be doing a lot of damage. Let's see. Alright, Mac, what do you got for us? First of all, what do we have for ourselves? Yeah, this skyscraper is doing over 6,000 damage. And they don't have any slow... Yep, zap zap. Sometimes you just do over 6,000 damage. And our ending board did end up with this Kiuas in play. I'm also... Let me just make sure I'm pronouncing that correctly. I've been saying it this whole video, but... Let's see, Kiuas pronunciation. Kiuas hyphenation. Yeah, I think I've been saying it right. Yeah, anyway. What did our opponent have? So they had a big, big fiery vat of acid, which could get very scary, but they needed time to do that. And we didn't give them any of that. We just zapped them pretty good. Well, okay. Well, our build worked out pretty well, I must say. We had that toxic fixer-upper too. Then we found this skyscraper, which was insane. Then we found the fixer-upper, and we scaled the fixer-upper. At the very last minute, we also found the balcony, which then made our skyscraper very powerful. So it's like going back to the old school days of the Bazaar, where the skyscraper build was one of the best things that you could do. But also, this Kiuas is very impressive. I didn't think it would work out as well as it did, and honestly it started out pretty poor, but the healthy hoarder skill really allowed us to bridge the gap to get to where we needed to be. That was a very cool run. It ultimately turned into kind of a fixer-upper scaling run, as it normally does when you're playing Pig, but regardless, I think it was just kind of fun to also use the temporary shelter to help bridge the gap. And I hope it gave us our chests. That was weird. Yeah, I got my chests. And hey, why don't we open them? Let's go to our collection. Let's open 10 chests. 10 Season 1 chests. Pull the lever. I got a rank ticket. Cool. And got some gems. No big skills or anything. Did we roll above average here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we unfortunately did not. We rolled a little below average on the amount of gems that we could have gotten. There's a 50% chance to get the lowest value in gems, which is 35. But that's okay. We got a rank ticket, which kind of makes up for that. Anyway, that has been a pretty fun run. This has been another enjoyable episode, at least for me, for Games to Sleep To, and I hope it has been for you too. If you are wanting to see some more content, we definitely have that up with more videos and more runs just like this for all the characters, and I will be working towards getting the expansion for Vanessa and for Dooley here on the next video so that you all can see how those new items are impacting the game. But most importantly, if you are asleep right now, I wish you a very good night.